record upstairs in this mode.
Well, that's my understanding. It's
Maybe it
just
doesn't
going to
broadcast.
record, and then, no, it's not going to broadcast. And
So
then
we might be on,
she'll send it out.
okay. So it's not live streaming.
No,
I think you gotta do something to live stream it.
you do.
That's different. All right, so we'll hope it records. I found the RFP, by the way. It's pretty
Good.
simple to find. When we talk about that, we can talk about this too.
You want to start, or you want to wait for Sherry?
Yeah, sure.
Trying to get you to talk. Right?
Almost like last time.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Call this meeting to order at 6:38 PM. You join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the list there, is any public comment? Next we have there is review and approve the minutes of the June 5th, 2025 Cemetery Advisory Meeting.
I looked through it when it first came out, but I didn't see anything.
Did you see anything, Colin?
I wrote them. I didn't see anything
I didn't either.
since I wrote them, so.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes
All right, second.
of June 5th.
Get a second.
Okay, Sherry and Mike.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right,
3-0-0.
3-0. Next on the list there is the plan of work review. The discussion there, if you look at the minutes from June 5th like that, is we were going to complete the inspections like that, you know, for the category 1 cemeteries like that, 1 through 9. Things we're supposed to look for is headstones, fencing, stone walls, tree issues, and conduct headstone cleanings. Looks like everybody's completed the inspections as requested. I thought that we should do like that, so. Is there anything out of the inspections like that that really is, that we think is outstanding or glaring like that that we really need to look at? There was anything different from what we had seen before?
The only thing that we saw, I think, was in the Friends South, was there was a fairly large tree branch that had kind of, it was still hooked in the tree, but it's hanging down to the ground. So that would be number 11, Friends South.
Okay, yeah, on Shady Hill Road.
Yeah,
Yep, you got it right there. Large tree branches come down and hang in the tree.
but we saw nothing else.
Okay,
And that wasn't any different than we saw when we went through them the first time.
yep. Okay.
I left copies of the ones that I did. I sent some of them out by email. I just did Sugar Hill and Eaton which were Mike's, but I inspected those myself just because Cornerstone had finished the work, so I wanted to check out. Mike had already done it too, but I just double checked.
Did you see anything, you guys?
Well, I had seen it there, and when I saw what Tom mentioned there, is it said a fair number, and he's got 8 to 10 foot stones are still leaning. Is when you're standing on Concord Stage and you look into the cemetery, it's towards the back and more on the right-hand side like that. They're not very tall, but they're just enough. They still have
They still-
almost a 45-degree
Yeah.
lean to them. I was surprised it,
Need to get fixed.
He fixed,
they weren't fixed like that, so I was kind of curious. I mean, there's nothing, there's no writing or engraving, etched on them like that, but it's,
No.
he did fix some footstones on the other side, on the other part of the cemetery, so
Yeah.
it
Maybe-
wasn't like they were ignored as a group completely.
What about, maybe I'll contact him and have him come over some evening and walk through?
yeah, I mean, if he wanted to meet
Do a
with one of us,
walkthrough?
yeah. Or even during the day, I mean, if he's got a time, you
You-
can give him my number, and I
Yeah.
could meet him, and,
Yeah. And there's a couple in Center
Center
Square.
Square, he was supposed to take care of too, I know, he said he was gonna address those.
Yeah.
Did he not get to them yet?
No,
Okay.
I haven't looked, though, it's,
no, he hadn't as of last Sunday, I think. Definitely saw the one in the corner that was still laying down, kind of.
I think whenever a contractor is done with
The
a
cemetery.
work item,
Yeah,
yeah, that
we
had an
need to,
RFP especially that was being paid for, there should be an appointment made. They should be contacting us or Naomi to get to us to say, hey, I'm done. Let's
Yeah.
do a walk. We should be inspecting it when they're done,
Yeah.
like any other project.
I did a I told him, we should do a walkthrough, and that way we can point out the ones that are,
I agree. I
Do it
mean,
with 'em.
it's
It's even
like when
better.
you buy a house and you walk through and you do the final closing, it's the same thing
Yeah.
there. We should do a
Or
walkthrough there
anybody
and make
comes to
sure,
your
yeah,
house to build
so
something.
Well,
we can answer any questions.
I can contact him and
Yeah, I
ask
mean,
him to,
If you could
you know,
do that,
get a
reach
hold-
out and one
yeah,
of us
give him
can-
your phone number and tell him that
Yep.
you'd be happy to do a walkthrough with him.
Yeah, walk through it and he can explain why those weren't done or
And we should
when he's gonna
not
get done
wait
like
till
this
oil mill's done because,
Right,
I think, because the earlier we do it, the better with
Right.
Right.
season ahead of
yeah,
him.
yeah, he's not gonna do anything, he told me, till probably in August sometime, before he hits oil mill, because he's
Okay.
got
Other
another
projects.
project up north that he's gotta complete.
I mean, there'll be time, but still, I think,
I think sooner is better.
he finished that one, that was a distinct RFP. It should be inspected and we should approve it.
Yeah,
or,
and he
you know.
should go look at that too. And the one on Center Square too, he pulled a couple pieces of old granite out, block granite kind of stuff.
Right.
And I asked him to put it over by the barn, the red barn, but he actually just left it right there by the wall,
Yeah, it's along the chain link fence closest
Chain
to
link
the barn,
fence.
yeah, but it's inside the cemetery. I
Yeah,
saw
so
that, yeah.
we need to take those out and get them, maybe put them over there by the barn somewhere, so they're out of the way when they mow.
Are they cut granite or just rocks?
No, they're
They're
granite,
cut granite.
but they're probably,
They're
they're
fairly
probably
long.
300 or 400 pounds
Oh,
a
like-
piece.
They're like
Say-
wall pieces?
They're like, wow, it's almost,
No, no, I
almost looks like a curb, but they're like 3-4 feet long.
It's
think-
not a headstone.
They're about this big around, but,
They-
or, they're rectangular, but they're about this long.
They might have been in the ground underneath a big headstone, and he didn't feel he needed it, so he pulled them.
Mm.
I'd have left them personally, but they're underground.
But now they're above ground, sitting there?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
right
they're
over
up.
by the chain link fence, right
Yeah, they're
on
on
the,
top of the ground,
i-
sitting,
if you look at the barn, they're right there next to the chain link fence, and the barn's right beyond, you know, kind
Yeah,
of
they
deal.
shouldn't be in the cemetery at this point.
No,
They're
they
not
should
gonna
come
use-
out, and I don't know if we got somewhere we can take them out or not. Because you'd have to roll them up with a crowbar or something, get them onto something, so you could,
I got a dolly that's got solid wheels, I've moved some pretty heavy stuff with that.
you probably could do that if you had a,
You could do that and just wheel it right over there. so
Wheel it
Get
over.
over to the road
Yeah.
and go down the asphalt like that and
Yeah.
hot top and
yeah.
couple trips. All right. Yeah, if you can reach out and you can give him my number like that, and
Sure.
I'll meet and he can explain why those weren't done or, what he's gonna do with those like that, and we can look at it, so.
Yeah.
I thought Sugar Hill looked pretty good
It
when I
looked
went
fine.
through it, so yeah, it
Yeah.
looked fine.
So there's nothing relating to him, it's just
No.
there's a bunch of old flower pots in a pile there, and there's oak branches need to be trimmed outside the fence area, they're creeping in, it's minor stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Leaf blower.
probably all the cemeteries could stand a little picking up these plastic pots and plastic
Yeah.
flowers and stuff, you know?
So, as usual, I went overboard in my inspection and wrote a lot of little details.
I didn't want to say anything.
Well, it's good to have. It never hurts to have the details.
Can you,
though.
do you have an electronic version of this that you could email me for the record to put it in the? on
What-
the
what's
thumb
it?
drive?
This
The
here.
one-
Oh,
your inspection.
oh,
Your inspection?
I just
All
got it
this
in
here.
my office.
yeah, you can email that to him though, right?
Yeah, I can try,
It's
yeah,
just a Word
Yeah.
document?
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, if you, just
yeah,
email that to
Judy
Tom
typed it
like
up,
that,
because
and
I
I'll-
had several appointments this week.
Yeah, if you create an email and then you attach, you
Yeah.
can just attach the document. If it's Word, I can, and then I'll have it in the file, I can put it on the thumb drive for records
Yeah,
electronically. Hopefully we won't have to keep any paper records here, other than what's already paper.
all right.
My other cemeteries that I looked at, they hadn't been worked on by him, so. Al Peasley needs a little bit of trimming. I also updated the counts. I'm gonna compare them against the master to see if our
Okay.
numbers match.
Yep.
It should be close.
It was 12 leaning, and
Yeah,
I also added a count of veteran stones.
yeah,
Okay.
So, we can add that as a column, but it might be nice to, I did get while we're talking about it, I did get the book from the Legion. It turns out there is a more detailed book than most people thought. It was in a cabinet, and it had a grave by grave inventory of all the veterans.
we should make a copy of that,
I'm gonna put it in Excel,
yeah,
make a new version of it, and get it off of the paper that they're using.
right. It's probably,
I
yeah,
don't even know if they're using it anymore, but I wanna use it
yeah,
as part of our inventory that we do. I
Right.
wanna merge it,
yeah,
so, just more good information to add.
yeah. I did call Mike, what was it, a couple weeks ago, and Laurel wanted to continue to work on cleaning stones, which she has. I went up and got her a bucket and a D2 and the water thing and stuff. She's been in there doing it.
Oh, really?
In fact, she went through a whole thing of D2, and I went back this Sunday. And, well, there's a girl that grew up in town, and she's in college, and she's taken up archaeology, but she's also, I guess, either had a class or is having a class this fall on headstones. So she wanted to know if she could work with Laurel, you know, when Laurel was over there. And I said, as long as Laurel shows you, I don't have a problem, but, you know,
We'll make sure they've seen the method.
yeah, she seems like she's pretty smart,
Mhm.
you know. I don't think there's gonna be any problem, or I would have said no, but, so she meets Laurel over there. Whenever Laurel goes, she goes over and works with her for a couple hours at a time.
Where's she working out of? Which one?
Center Square.
Center Square.
Center Square.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
that's-
Center Square.
Yeah, they're going down.
D2 is for
yeah.
that,
So anyway, I filled up two containers with D2, and Laurel's bringing the water from home, so we're not gonna deplete the water that's in the
Oh.
thing, because she can get it at home. She'd fill up 2 or 3 gallon jugs and then dump a gallon at a time.
Yeah.
Because you put 3 gallons in there, it's kind of heavy to drag around,
Oh, yeah. Those are 7-gallon containers.
yeah.
One thing that I will mention is that there's a dividing wall between Sugar Hill and Eaton,
Yeah,
and a lot of stones have been pushed off.
Yeah.
It needs to be repaired. I don't think it's a skilled job. I think we just need to have people just pick up the rocks and put them back on the wall.
set them back up, so it looks
Yeah,
neater.
it's not a dry stack like flat rock, you
No.
know, but it's just they're big boulders that need to
A
be.
couple of big ones.
Yeah, there's quite a few that fell into the Eaton there. I saw you should go down towards the back like that.
And over time, people have made a door in the wall
Oh, yeah.
between the two.
Yeah, so you can
And-
walk through.
We should probably keep it that way and build the rocks up on either side. That way people can go back and
Right,
forth
they
and
can
they don't
pass
have to
through
push
that.
the
They're
stones.
not pushing, yeah, well, crawling over the wall and
Somebody
knocking it
Yeah,
down.
getting
knocked
hurt.
them off
Like
doing
that.
it
Yeah.
too. But there's a big stone on the ground where that door is, there's a stone on the
Flat.
ground. And so it's great. You can just leave it that way and just build up the walls around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long as it's safe, I think it's probably,
yeah,
that way people can just feel free, they won't mess around with it.
no,
That's why it's all messed up, because there was no door.
It was kind of fascinating what he's done. Did you see, I think it was in Sugar, there was the one tall headstone that had cracked in the middle like that, and he used aluminum
Rails.
rails,
like that
Yeah.
and slid over it,
Yeah.
and they're embedded in the ground like that to hold the two pieces together.
yeah,
But the other ones that are multiple pieces that were already on the ground like that, he made a gravel bed and has blocked it off.
like you did over here in
Yep,
Center Square,
Like he did at
Yeah.
Center Square like
There's
that.
just no
so that-
saving those ones upright.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no way you could have them stand up.
Yeah, I asked him about using carbon fiber rod, and he said that it's fairly expensive, and it's more time consuming, and you can crack the stone, so he feels more comfortable just using the aluminum channel.
Well, it seems to work because he
Yeah.
can get
Nice.
it, the channel to the width of the stone and just slides it right over there, so.
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, those don't have a good edge to mortar.
Right,
It's not a clean break, too old, it's been probably broken for a long time.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Collins there, I mean,
Del Peasley had 12 leaning. Hope- That should be one of the ones on the list in the future, coming up to, for repairs. No broken ones, but a lot of leaning.
There's a couple of broken ones, and I believe it might have been on the list before, the New South Quaker Cemetery.
New South.
I almost think there might be one that's fallen, but I didn't have my other list with me. But it's tipped over, and it looks like the base is tipped up too.
Yep,
So I'm not sure, I don't remember that particular stone being tipped over, but, we looked at a lot of cemeteries. I could have missed it, you know.
it's confusing. Collins had a bunch of trees that need to be cut, moved. They were down, but they need to be moved. Some trimming. Edging. Collins and Dow Peasley are probably good candidates for the future. And they're very visible.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many, how many stones we're talking in those two, but,
well, I was out on Mountain Road. I looked at the Corliss burial place. Not
Yeah.
much has changed there from when we did the initial inspection.
no,
It has been cleaned up. Somebody's gone through and leaf blew, cleared it out like that,
We've-
and,
Judy and I moved all the brush last fall,
yeah.
but we didn't have a leaf blower with us.
Yeah, it looks like
so.
somebody went through a leaf blower like that, because all it's just a little bit of vegetation growing in there. And that signpost, it's just, right now, it's just a 2x4
Four.
with the sign just leaning up against one of the granite posts, so that needs to be repaired. The Elijah Gove there that's on Mountain Road, I didn't see anything different in there, because most of that is moss. There's still the headstone that's tipped over.
Tip that big old headstone,
Yeah, the iron piping in the back, part of the fencing like that is still broke. I mean, somebody is keeping the weeds, cut back like that, but
Yeah, I don't know
it's
who's
small
doing
enough,
it.
and there's not much to do with it like that.
I just don't know if there's any headstones that are down, smaller ones that are underneath that moss. I don't know that.
Yeah, it would be hard to tell like that, because that cemetery's almost all moss.
Mm. I know, it's thick.
It's really thick.
Unless you had a metal probe and you could just
Yeah.
go through every foot and, walk back and forth, I don't know. But it'd take a while.
Philbrook cemeteries, it looks the same. It actually looks good, but we haven't done anything to remedy the problem with the gate because of all the gravel that's been pushed over from the road like that.
I know, that's a
You
mess.
can only open it up about 8
Yeah, you
inches
can't
like
get in,
that,
I
so.
know. I just
think-
mentioned
if
that.
Even if I went with a shovel like that, I could park on the side of the road and shovel out it, so you can swing it open more like that.
I really think what they need to do there is put a couple, 3 water bars in on that hill coming down, direct the water to the other side, and then cut that
I don't know what
gravel
happened.
out.
But why is the roads almost like 3.5 feet
Never,
higher
never
than,
used to be like that.
It's higher than the cemetery, it's higher than the fence, the
Right.
fencing.
Yeah, I
the
know.
wrought iron fence around the cemetery.
It's stupid. It should have, I don't know who came up with that plan, but if they'd put 3 or 4 water bars in, coming down that long hill, long grade, and direct the water to the other side,
Right.
you know, take it down some, obviously, take that gravel out. It's a mess.
So that whole stretch though is all built up along there like that, so.
Yeah, there's no reason to have that built up like that.
Is that the one on the corner of
Mount
Mount?
Dearborn and
Dearborn, yeah,
Maple Wall.
and Maple Wall.
Okay, which one was that?
That's the,
Philbrick.
Philbrick.
Philbrook.
And
Yeah, that's
then-
got a Revolutionary War veteran in
yeah.
there, too.
And then Whitaker is the one that's farther in on
Yeah.
Maple Wall.
They're about halfway across or
Yeah,
so.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, it looked pretty much the same like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just low stones around the outside for the perimeter like that, and it goes back to where it's mostly moss in there too like that. Well,
But-
it has all those pines and trees around it, nothing's ever gonna grow out of that.
But one thing I did notice in there when we were looking at it the other day was that there's a lot of this, humps of dirt, humps and humps and humps. So somebody must have added a lot of dirt to that at one point, you know, where the stones are.
Yeah.
They're humped up instead of, you know, down, they're up.
Gould Chase on Gould Road, I don't know if it's the people that live there, but it's mowed and it's being maintained like there was no branches.
That
and-
little one on the right?
Yeah, the little
It's on the
teeny
right
one,
hand side,
yeah.
just a little, it's like at the one little headstone there. Yeah, that one's still maintained. Joseph Wilson, it looked better this time than when I looked at it in the spring like that. It's been trimmed. It's mostly looks like some type of ivy. It's about 6, 8 inches high like that in there. And I noticed though, it's the 2 front corner posts, granite posts like that are starting I think they're both leaning to the right side when you look at the tomb like that, so that's.
But we
something
also
should
know that
address
there's
like
some
that, so.
headstones missing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and we.
Somebody's taken them,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, when we were out there last fall, that's what you said there, that they had this, used to be a lot more and they were.
Oh, yeah.
I did go out to Poor Farm Cemetery too, and that is just so overgrown, and that's
I
what you
know.
said last fall, that
We really need to go in
There's a
there and
lot of-
spend a,
a lot of whips in there, that, same as like Buxton, Philbrook. you go in
except
there,
I
you-
don't think you're gonna pull those out.
Well, we'd have to do like Tom did, is you'll have to shovel them and break it loose like that and pull them in.
What are they,
And
what
most
kind of
of-
trees are they?
Well, they're not pine or hemlock.
They're not pine or hemlock, I'd say they're,
mostly Like a hardwood, so
Yeah.
deciduous tree.
Yeah. If they're oak,
I don't think they're oak, but
they could be maple in there,
that's doable,
I
but
don't know.
depends on how big they are.
yeah, some of them are getting, you know, they're bigger than what we took out, I'd say. But there's a ton of them, I mean, they're thick, much thicker than where
it
we,
was, you could barely see across to see the stone wall on the backside there. They're
Right.
thick in there, yeah, it's
Yeah.
really grown on. I was surprised that a couple years ago I was in there, and then all of a sudden, I went,
Really-
last week, and it's like, holy cow, it was really grown up.
it'd be good, that'd be a good cemetery
That
to,
was a Poor Farm Cemetery.
Poor Farm Cemetery. That would be a good one to spend a couple hours some day on, 2 or 3 hours. It'd be good if we could get 2 or 3 more people in there.
I'd be really excited if we could get 2 or 3 more people.
Well,
No, seriously, I mean, I was,
uh,
well, we went to
Well-
do the headstone cleaning, I was kind of disappointed, there was Laurel and Ron showed up, just 2 people, and I know
Yeah.
we put the word out, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I was hoping we would have,
well, I
you could
just
almost
couldn't
set
make it.
people that, you send people out and they can do the scraping and brushing, and then you come and spray, and then somebody,
Yeah.
scrub and then
Scrubbing.
rinse and.
Well, Gillette, we had
We-
13
dozen.
Yeah,
13
Yeah, well,
people.
remember, we had Dave and Jackie Pratt, I think were there. We had Janice,
Yeah, Janice wants to participate.
yeah, who else?
Sue Edge,
Was Sue there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she
And
was, she took
Robin.
photos, yeah.
and Remillard, Ryan Remillard, who lives right near there.
Yeah,
I mean, I could, Salem was there.
yeah.
Right,
If
You
we-
know, we could put the word out tactically.
Yes, yeah,
Get
just,
another dozen people if we
Yeah.
need to.
or get, even 4 or 5 would make a big help,
Right,
be a big help,
Doesn't have to be that many.
you know?
We can contact all those same people too and ask them if they are interested, If we do it in advance enough,
You know, maybe do it once it starts to cool off a little bit.
yeah, not now.
Like early October or something, or,
Yeah, late September might even work.
yeah,
Um, Yeah, we pick a date soon, like in our next meeting, maybe pick a date in late September, we could get, I think we could get some people.
Yeah, if you had, you know, two or three of us and 4 or 5 more people, you'd make a big hole in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Well, that short time when we spent, what, 2
Two-
hours?
two and a half
over at
tops.
Buxton Philbrook, and we knocked out.
And we have to go back there.
I know, that's part of what I want to discuss here farther on like that, so. There's a few, left on the list here, and to wrap up doing the second half of the headstones there for July was 10 through 18. I think we got most of them like that, so I can send you what I checked there and the discrepancies like that, so you can put in a write-up, or I can write something up, and then we can narrow down. I know Tristan Johnson still needs to be looked at, Toby Hill Yard.
We're talking about group 2.
Yeah, Group 2.
We didn't assign any
Even
group
Muzzy,
2s to any
yeah.
of us, we only did group 1, right?
Toby Hill's gonna probably need a little work. It usually does. I mean, I haven't been up for 3 years, but the last time I was up there, I cleared all the brush out of the cemetery, except for one big branch. I couldn't move it.
Well, like I went in the fall or in the spring like that, and somebody actually went up and had cut that branch out of the way.
They
like
did
that,
with a
so
power saw. I think it was
Yeah,
probably,
it was fairly
might have been Tommy
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah, one of the Chases.
Dale or
that's what
Tommy.
they said there, they had
They
got-
usually go up if you let them know. They've been good about it. And I walked up with Debbie that day, I think, so.
So we didn't assign any group 2 cemeteries to anybody? We
No,
just
I
left it open?
tried to look just to see if the contractor was gonna even touch any of those like that, so, and
We still haven't resolved that
they-
issue.
there wasn't, no, I haven't heard, and I was hoping, we could find out. I haven't heard any more on that, so.
Maybe we need to get on the agenda for a selectmen's meeting, and now that they've got more people filling in the blanks there,
Right.
and they're probably settled, maybe, they're only meeting twice a month in August, the
Yeah,
summer.
summer might be
July and
their
August,
summer
yeah.
schedule, so.
But we could get in there
Did we get anything about
before budget
the
season.
tree work to be done at Samuel Osborne?
That was a third, we needed a third quote, right?
Well,
Well, we can put it out to bid. If we only get 2, we only get 2.
let's go back to the work session thoughts. We were talking about these different cemeteries, so, and then, because the action items there is, I'll talk about what I have so far for the tree work like that, so. Next on the list there was work session thoughts. We started Buxton Philbrook Cemetery there. I would really like to be able to finish that, get the leaf blowing and any other vegetation that might have cropped up like that. And then continue with the center square headstone cleaning. As long as we have warm weather, we can go into August, September, even into
October.
October like that. That's not a problem. The last 2 weeks have just been, I'll be honest, they're miserable like that.
Yeah,
Oh, this is,
You know,
yeah,
I-
this is
I
bad.
can't.
early morning, and not even in the,
You-
I go to take the dog out at 9:30 like that, and it's still 78 degrees out.
Yeah,
and-
it's
And the
too
humidity's
much.
just been unbearable like that. And then lastly on there I had was the bean burial site search, which would be another good project in the fall.
Fall when it's cooler.
Vegetation it will die back like that, but the deer flies have been pretty brutal there, a couple places I've been
July,
like that. So,
yeah.
yeah, with July, it's kinda.
August, early
So-
August.
So my thoughts there is, the next I'd like to tackle there, is we could get together and finish up the Buxton Philbrook Cemetery, so we could post some of those, and maybe we could pique some interest in some of the community members, if they see what we can do with just a few people like that, and then we could tackle some of the other ones there, like we said, we could do Tristan Johnson like that, or do Mudgett, and, if people wanted to get up to Toby Hill like that and get the leaves out of it like that, so it's. Or the other one there is the Luther Lock there,
Yep.
over on Oliver, really.
That's bad.
I went by that, and that's terrible. I mean, you can
Can't
barely
even
see
tell
the
there's a
headstones,
cemetery
it's so
there.
grown up.
It won't
Yeah,
take
it's-
very long to do that one.
that's a
It's
small-
tiny.
no, It's small. It's not even as big as this room, so.
If
could
we
put
had
it
just had a decent day, a decent evening, even late afternoon, you probably could go in a couple hours and have that
Well,
done.
I would be mine, is I would go back to Buxton Philbrook in the evening like that, and same with Luther Lock. I mean.
5 o'clock at night or something,
yeah,
blow it out,
5:30
2
like
hours.
that.
You're not gonna wanna be out there much later than 7 o'clock because the mosquitoes are getting
Right,
pretty
yeah.
nasty now.
But you can spray and, so,
Should
but for
we-
right now, so we plan to do Buxton Philbrook. I'd like to wrap that up and get that one done, so, and maybe post some pictures and people look and say, you know.
Yeah, and I did before the
Yeah,
first session.
you did, I
there was a
remember
lot
that,
of,
yeah, because
a lot of
Yeah.
I'm
interest.
always hitting the like button there, so.
You got you got a blower, right, Tom?
Should we come up with a, like a top 3 that we want to schedule sessions for?
Well, I think Poor Farm should be one.
That will need people.
You need a group, yeah. And
Yeah,
that
you would need
Luther
a group for
Lock,
that.
probably one. That's not a big one, but you might get, and maybe Toby Hill.
And let me add to this too, is that I've mentioned that I'm taking the summer off. And I plan to use I'm taking July and August and September off. I'm going to be
Resting?
retired for 2 months, or at least 2 months. And so I plan to use some of my time to go out and do some, Wednesday morning, some,
2 or 3 hours or something, yeah.
do some cleaning, but, I've thought all along that I'm just gonna pick a morning, go out to Buxton Philbrook and leaf blow that thing. And if anybody else wants to jump in, maybe not make it a formal session, just finish what we started, get it done, and then we could use our scheduling, get people.
You need 2 blowers probably if you really want to get it
I have
done.
a hand blower, but I don't have a backpack blower, which works pretty good though, so, because my yard's small enough, that's all I use, I mean.
I think if you had a raker, somebody
Well, a
raking and
rake
somebody
and a
blowing,
blowing like that, I think you can move a lot like
you
that. It
can
would go
get
pretty
that done
quick,
in an
so.
hour and a half,
Yeah.
I think. I think make good headway on that with 2 people. And,
Okay.
but the scheduling and calling people and trying to get enlisting, I think Poor Farm and maybe,
Toby
with Luther Lock.
and
might be
Luther
another
Lock,
one,
yeah.
but 2 people it's gonna be painful. You need like 3 or 4
3 or 4, you really do, yeah.
to make a dent.
Well, and it goes by a lot quicker. If you're up there with 2 people struggling on something, you get a little bit discouraged. It's better off to have 4 or 5 people in it. You can get through it in a couple
And
hours.
that one's a small one, but,
Which one's that?
Luther Lock.
Yeah.
One of my concerns is Luther Lock there is if we pull that stuff out, what are we gonna do with it? Because there's a house that almost,
Right on, yeah, almost
Yeah.
backs up to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'd have to put it in a truck,
we'd have to put it in a truck and.
but it's
take
not
it
that
with
much.
us, so.
I mean, it's a lot of small little
It is, but it's, yeah,
spruce.
yeah.
I-
Yeah, there's some pine in it, well, there's a lot of the, we call it low bush blueberry in there, just covering
Yeah.
all over like
But
that.
if I'm
so-
there and I have my truck, I don't mind putting it in my truck and I take it
Yeah,
to
it's
the
not that
transfer
much
station.
up there.
Not a problem. I mean, we won't wanna leave it there.
No.
I mean, any cemetery, we don't really wanna leave it there.
No.
In fact, Buxton Philbrook, I could probably cut those trees that we piled up on the side, I can cut those in half and throw them in my truck. I mean, they don't need to
Yeah.
be left in the woods. They could be, but
Yeah,
it's
well,
somebody's property.
Yeah,
property.
but they shouldn't, if you're just cutting them up 2 or 3 times and throwing them over, I would think they'd rot down pretty quickly.
They would,
Because otherwise, you're gonna drive the whole length of that field.
right.
And I don't know how they feel about us driving.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I'd be concerned about that, because it would, remember, it's kind of.
Get wet down in there.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah, yeah.
mire it, and
Yeah, and that's a case where we could just cut them into thirds.
I
and
just cut it
just
up,
chuck 'em in there
chuck
and
them
move
over the wall, yeah.
But the Luther Lock one, those we'd have to take out.
Yeah, you're right up against that house, I
That's
mean,
not a problem.
Yeah.
pretty close.
We can do it while I have the time, we can make that one happen.
So what do we want to do?
I guess, you know,
Toby and,
Well, based on
Poor
that, I
Farm?
would say, based on what Tom just said there, is, we could do informal Buxton Philbrook and Luther Lock. If we can, 1 or 2 of us like that, because like you said, you don't need everybody for those. It's gonna be the Poor Farm,
The big ones.
yeah, it's gonna be the big one.
and Toby probably, depending on how I mean, I don't know. That really needs to get blown out up there, Toby did.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the brush out of it, but I couldn't,
Well, that's fairly small. If you had
So-
1 or 2 people up there, it's just getting to it as a.
Which one?
you probably can drive all the way up through now on top. You'd have to walk in that 1/4 mile off to the side of the road, because last time I was in there, the ruts were 3 feet deep and full of water.
Toby Hill just tree branches and stuff, or is it?
Well, there was, and it was all cleaned out here 2 years ago, so
Yeah, mostly it's just leaves.
it was a lot of leaves now again.
Leaf blowing?
Yeah.
Just leaf blowing is mostly.
So that's not-
Unless something's come down this last year, I don't know, I haven't been
Doesn't sound
back
like
up.
something we would need 6 or 7 people. to
No,
take
but if
down.
you had 3 people there and you were raking, couple people were raking and somebody was blowing,
3 would be plenty.
because that's not a gigantic cemetery either.
No, that's small. It's small like Luther Lock.
Probably Poor Farm's a bigger one,
I would, there,
I
if you had
want
7 or 8 people.
7 or 8 people at least, yeah. I don't know how those branches, those trees, little trees are gonna come out, there's a lot of them.
So Poor Farm and Mudgett,
Well, we had Buxton Philbrick, Luther Lock, Toby Hill, and Poor Farm.
would Toby Hill be an informal, or would we want?
I would do informal,
Make
yeah,
it-
I don't think, if you had 2 people, 3 max
3,
like that
yeah.
in Toby Hill, it's not that big, it's
Yeah,
not much
right.
bigger. It's about the same size as Luther Lock.
So we'll, yeah.
I mean, if just us as a group, if we just went up, we'd have plenty of help.
Yep.
Judy's gonna bring sandwiches and lemonade for us
Get Deb Chase to bring
in a
out some
picnic
muffins.
basket. Yeah, right.
So Poor Farm, it sounds like Poor Farm's like a #1 target here. It's
Yeah,
got a lot of, needs a lot of help.
does need a lot, yeah.
We all figure out you can drive there too.
You know, if we ask the town to open up if it stays fairly dry this summer, they can open up the byway on Poor Farm Road, and you can drive up in there quite a ways. Because if you go up the top, hit the hill, around up Mountain Road that way, you gotta go down, all the way down in, you can't drive that. It's got,
No. No,
you
right
could,
for
but they,
Bulch Road, the way it drops off down, I've
Yeah.
gone on both ways, I wouldn't,
What-
yeah, I wouldn't drive from Bulch Road, no.
no, well, they put that pile of dirt there, that's
Yeah,
what
I know.
screwed it up. I mean, I used to come across that all the time.
So what road, you say that we'd have to ask the town?
There's a gate on
Gate
Poor
on,
Farm Road.
just off
Oh.
Poor Farm,
It's
in
before you
about-
get to where the old cellar hole is for the Poor Farm.
Yeah.
If you're coming from Lowell Road.
yeah. So if they ungated that for you, you could be pretty close. You wouldn't have to lug like backpack blowers in very far, you know.
It's drivable?
It was,
Well, I went in last week, it's dry, but there's a lot of brush growing, sapling.
sapling now,
growing up.
yeah.
It's, the first part's kinda like almost going through a tunnel and then it
Oh,
opens up
wow,
more when you get far in the
that's
back.
closed in the last couple of years.
Yeah, but it took me 10, 15 minutes maybe, 10 minutes to walk back there.
Yeah,
Well, it's dry now, it's nice.
yeah, that's what I'm saying,
The
you
road's
should
kinda
be
wet
able-
back in there.
yeah.
If we
Walk
could,
from the gate?
yeah, to walk from the gate,
I mean, we walked 10 minutes to go to Gillette.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a little bit of a hike.
yeah.
Now, this is an old woods road,
This
so
is,
this is easy compared to getting up to
that's actually an
Gillette.
old town road.
Yeah,
Because I used to drive take the draft houses up through there all the time before they dumped the fill in and closed off the other end and put the gates up.
All right, so Poor Farm's on the list. What other ones would we want to schedule formally? Mudgett was one, I think we said we wanted to try to get to it this year.
Mudgett.
That's a little bit of a hike.
Where's Mudgett?
It's on group 2,
Oh, it is
so
group two?
not in the
no, it's not
contract.
even,
I didn't see it.
I don't even think it's on there, no, because
not
that's
on
the
there.
ones out in the boonies.
It's listed somewhere. Where is it?
No, we have it on
It's not even listed on
our
here?
spreadsheet, but it's not.
It's not
one
on
that has
there.
to be taken care
Oh,
of.
I thought it was.
Yeah, no, it's,
Okay. It's on the list, just wasn't in the contract at all. Yeah,
Oh,
right, that makes sense.
well,
'cause-
that's the one
and
off,
Gillette was in contract.
that's the one off Forest Road.
Yeah.
Mount Dearborn,
Or-
I mean,
no,
Helen Dearborn.
Helen Dearborn, or you can come in on Forest,
The other
but,
side.
well, the only thing, you probably can't do Forest now. I think the beavers have been in there a lot and flooded it back on that road, so you'd be in water walking in probably.
It's pretty simple,
But
pretty
you
easy
can
for
go
Helen
in-
Dearborn.
You can go in Helen Dearborn fine, for sure.
That was-
But
That's
that's
how
not
we
a gigantic cemetery either.
No.
So it's
No.
a matter of taking some loppers and
A couple of,
Small-
maybe a small chainsaw
maybe a small chainsaw.
a couple oak trees are about this big now.
in the
so-
middle of it.
Yeah, but we're not gonna cut them.
No.
But there's a bunch of branches.
Yeah, overhang.
Maybe not even a chainsaw, just a good
Saw,
good
hand
hand
saw.
saw for cutting wood, wood, would do it,
Well, I have one of those, what do you call them, pruning saws?
Yeah, yeah.
I got a pole
Pole
saw
saw.
like that, yeah.
That would do it.
We need to trim branches
Yeah,
and things like that.
couple of
so,
the-
Yeah,
the little hand saws that I
Right.
have. And definitely a leaf blower and a rake. We don't even know if there's any stones in there, there's so many leaves. Probably like,
There
What-
were stones in there.
Yeah, they,
yeah,
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 probably 50 years of leaves in there at least.
well,
yeah, well, nobody ever maintained it or all, no.
no,
The corner, the leaves were up as high as the wall. Like,
Yeah.
just,
I mean, it was hard to even find.
yeah, you can't see it unless
Yeah,
you're looking
nobody
for it.
knew where it was, but
Yeah.
Margot finally found it, and then we went out and looked around, and we said, aha, there it is.
Mike and I found it based on that information. So that one, I think you'd probably wanna have, 5 or 6 people if you can, just
yeah.
make it a lot easier.
couple
It's
of
not-
blowers,
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you need a couple leaf blowers on that one. like
Rakers
that,
and
trim it,
blowers,
Yeah,
and get some of the
Trimming some
branches
branches off.
away from the cemetery. There's a lot of branches already just hanging over the wall from people that have tried to clean it up, but they didn't throw the branches very
far
far.
enough, yeah.
So it's kind of a mess. We could stack those, put them over on the side, and maybe put up some tape or something.
What about that green cemetery? It's the only cemetery I haven't seen. Is that just a small cemetery?
one headstone.
2 stones?
One.
Or one double?
One double headstone.
We saw that.
And
I
that's
never
not,
saw that either.
I've never seen that one,
It's
but
a
that's not
burial
a,
site, really, it's not even a
Yeah,
cemetery.
it's not even, yeah, it's just a burial.
yeah,
It's smaller than the Phelps tomb. The Phelps is a tomb, yeah. Ezra Green, it's just Ezra Mildred, is it Amanda, I think, are the 3 names on it?
yeah, I don't
Ezra,
know.
his wife, and his daughter.
Yeah.
That could use a
The three
cleanup, but
buried
it's
out
not
there, so.
urgent.
No,
That's,
You
geez,
can't-
that's, yeah, I mean, there's not much to clean up. You went
You
up with a
can't miss
rake,
it.
I think, or leaf blower.
Yeah.
It just sits out on the
yeah,
other side
yeah,
of
you
the
could
stone
just
wall.
blow it out,
It's not even enclosed, it's just,
Right.
you used to see the headstone sit there.
yeah, that's the only one I haven't been to.
Sammy Osborne doesn't, I mean, the trees are one thing, but it doesn't really, it's not really
what-
bad.
You got a big limb, and then you've got 2 or 3 headstones that are down,
Well, that needs to be, yeah, those need to be repaired for sure. They need to be on the list.
yeah.
But cleanup wise, I don't think there's a lot. I mean, we could blow through it with a blower, one person.
One person and a couple rakes.
Seems to be, I could probably hit that in August. Just go out there one day, and I know the people that live there, and
Mm.
probably give me coffee and chat for a while. They're nice.
Yeah. Yeah, she seemed nice. I talked to her on the phone one day.
He goes to Legion for breakfast.
So, yeah, they go to Legion a lot for
Yeah.
breakfast, yeah. Just bought a nice yellow Mustang convertible. I like to drive around with that.
I think it's probably plenty for right now, so, because that's not even talking about, doing any of the headstone cleaning there that we have in Center Square.
Yeah, and we still got all that.
Oh,
Would be
yeah.
nice if we could really get all of, be nice if we could have a couple of, work sessions up there and get 8 or 10 people in there.
What about Joseph Wilson on Norris Road? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, that's the one where the headstones are missing
Oh, is that the one?
on Norris
Well,
Road.
That's what I said, though, somebody's kept up with it, because I remember last fall I went,
I-
and the brambles were,
The woman across the street. seemed
like I said,
interested.
it's
I-
only about 6, 8 inches. It's like
Yeah.
a vine or,
Yeah.
that's growing in there, some type of ground cover. But you get, whatever headstones were left were exposed, and then it had the 2 posts that were leaning like that.
Yeah.
Somebody's kept up with that, and the steps are cleared off.
Well, it was a mess 2 or 3 years ago. I happened to mention it to somebody, and I think that her husband went in and did some cleaning.
So does that need a session right now, or is it
I don't think so.
lower
Not-
priority?
No, I don't.
Lower
think- I don't
priority,
think
I
low
think-
priority like
yeah.
that, So I could see what happens in the fall then.
The one on Colby's fine, behind Travis's house, I mean,
Unless you-
that could use a
Oh.
leaf blow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
Well-
leaves in there.
Well, do it after the leaves come off this fall, maybe,
Oh, yeah,
because you're gonna have more.
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is if you could get it all cleaned up and stuff, then you could go out and hit probably 6 or 7 of these on a Saturday morning and blow them out in the spring and pick the branches up and be done,
Right, an annual kind of thing.
yeah.
You could almost break up into groups if you could get it cleaned up initially.
Get 'em all
That's the
cleaned up
thing,
to that
get 'em
point.
initially- Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take long to leaf blow and.
So that would be second tier for the spring maybe, but it's not urgent right now?
No,
Not like a poor farm?
No,
No,
poor farm,
poor
I'm,
farm
I'm-
before
I'm
we-
thinking if we don't do something, we're never gonna get those roots and stuff out of
Yeah.
there.
Right.
And,
That's,
and there's quite a few stones down, and there's so much leaves in there, I'm not sure if we're missing some, there may be more down. Once you blow it, you may find more.
okay. So I got Poor Farm, Tristan Johnson. Mudgett could even wait till the spring too. I mean, we know where it
Right,
is. It's
yeah.
not horrible.
Right.
Make that a tier 2. Tristan Johnson, it's kind of the same thing though, right? I mean,
That wouldn't take long either. I mean,
Tristan
it takes you
Johnson.
longer- I think it'd take you longer to walk in there and
Yeah.
out than it would to clean it up. 'cause
Well,
it's
you
not
can,
that
you
big.
can walk in from Bart Clough, it's not very hard to get to there.
Yeah, you take that old woods road.
Well,
it just,
yeah, and
hooks
just kind of,
down and- yeah.
yeah, just walk down
When
through.
you get to the stream there, you just go to the right, and it's right along that stone wall.
Yeah.
And that way it slopes, you could just blow that all over,
Right.
right over the edge like
That-
that, so
that-
the leaves and
That was
stuff
like, what, 5, 6 years ago I was in there, and somebody had dug the grave open.
was that the one? They had dug it?
Yeah, I went up, I walked back out and got a spade from Shannon and walked back in and pushed the dirt back in with a spade. I mean, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I think these, kids think they're gonna find something, and that's why they do it, yeah.
Well, I think that when there's a couple people could probably do that, it's not that big, so. I mean, that's where, Tom, like you said, if you've got the next 2 months and you've got a morning or an evening, 5 o'clock and go out there.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like,
That's what I'd do in
Yeah,
the evening.
it's a
when
small,
Yeah.
couple people could do
The
that.
sun's
in an
already
hour.
starting to set, it's a little get shady over there, and it wouldn't take long to knock some of those out there. We can coordinate on that.
Yeah.
I think the big one is trying to get the poor farm.
Yeah,
Get
that's-
people to be able to do that
Yeah.
like that, so.
Yeah, I think late September, early October, you go in and do that one and get
Or farm.
and get 6, 7 people together. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it can
take
only
a
go
while.
that well so many times, so we gotta pick our.
Right.
Pick the ones that are the hardest to do. Yeah, biggest and hardest. Yeah,
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. So we can just have that on the agenda there that we can bring up later
Okay.
to look at, and try and schedule a date. It's hard to schedule out because if the weather's not good, people aren't gonna wanna show up like that, so. And
I think
we
maybe,
don't know what else is going on.
yeah, if you say the last Saturday in October or the first Saturday in September, or the last Saturday in September, first Saturday in October, rain date or something.
Yeah,
So you got a couple weekends, one or the other.
right, yeah, that makes sense like that, so.
Because come October, you can't go out at night at 5 o'clock because it's
No.
gonna be dark.
It's gotta be 9 AM
Yeah.
on Saturday. Okay, we got the one.
Yeah, that's the important one there, so. Anything else on cemeteries then, so?
No, I think the only other thing we've got to think about doing some cleaning on the headstones in Center
I
Square.
agree, so.
Which would just be Center Square at this point.
Yeah,
That's correct.
yeah. It'd be great if we could just get Center Square cleaned this for the full winter, by the end of October. But like you said, it's been so hot, I can't go up there and do it. It's been a lousy summer and the spring was, we had rain every other day, just couldn't get in there.
So we would schedule something for Poor Farm and then try to schedule maybe a couple of headstone days.
Yeah, if we could do a couple headstone days,
Those are easier. You can,
yeah.
in an hour or two, do a bunch.
I don't know how many Laurel's got done, but she did go through a whole jug of the D2.
That's pretty good. That's a
I'd
lot.
say she probably went through quite a few like that.
Right, that's what I figured, yeah. And now she's got that young girl that's going
Yeah.
to college there with her, so. I told her, I said, I'll come up in the morning early, if you want to come up from, for an hour and a half or whatever, from 6 to something when it's a halfway decent morning, but I don't want to go up there when it's 75 degrees out and high humidity.
So, question about something that came up earlier. Who's gonna contact Cornerstone to schedule a walkthrough of Eaton and Sugar Hill?
I am,
Is that you? And you were gonna get back to Mike?
Sherry's gonna
I'm
give
gonna
Keith
get
my cell phone
phone
number.
number so they can
call and
pick a
we
day.
We can pick a date and time and I'll go out and look and.
I'd give you the
Explain
number,
it.
but I don't have his number. I just give you the number so you could call, but I don't have it with me, I'm sure. But I do have it.
I could probably come up with it, because I
I-
have the
Oh, wait,
contract.
yes, I do. I have it right here. I got a bit of scratch paper. Well, that was lucky. If you were gonna do this late afternoon or something, I might be able to go too, but,
Yeah, same here. Let us all know. I might be able to jump out for
Yeah.
an hour or so. Except
Well,
it's just up the road.
he
from me.
might just decide that he'd come after he gets done with his other work at 5 o'clock at night anyway,
Yeah,
or
that's-
6
yeah.
even.
So,
I imagine, yeah.
603-860, yeah, 860.
Mhm. I'll see.
0386.
Yeah.
0386.
I just happened, I didn't think I had it with me, but I just happened to have it on that piece of scrap paper that was stuck in there.
Do we want to try and schedule any headstone cleaning now, or do we want to wait? Our next meeting will be August 7th.
I can't do anything this weekend. I might be able to do something next weekend in the morning.
This would be something we would put out, the word out on, to get people to show
Well,
up.
that's what we were
maybe?
talking about, yeah, if people would show up. I'm kind of booked through I got family coming up, so, through the 1st of August, so the rest of this month's pretty much gone for me. And
I'd say if we schedule anything formal, it would be second half of August.
Yeah, well, just remember that we got Old Home Day,
Yeah, one on the 23rd.
23rd.
I mean, we could pick a day in August, it'd be a weekend, right?
Sunday morning or something.
Sun-
That's what I'd probably do, is,
You gotta pick a
I'll
day when
probably
you're
do a
not,
weekend when people would be available, and
yeah. A day when you're not working at the Legion.
I know. That's it. You got 1 in 4 chance of me working each month, so.
I know.
uh,
I don't know what the schedule is, so I can't help
I
you
know.
there,
I
but,
don't have my phone with me. I work the 29th, so.
Of
July
August?
27th, July 20,
it's a Friday. Like, what?
June 29th I work, so I'm working the 27th next of July.
and then you're working the last Sunday in August.
The 24th I'm working. It's the day after Old Home Day.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
So I couldn't do anything on the 24th. I don't think anybody else is gonna want to anyways here. Try for the 17th, maybe? Week before?
You think August 17th?
I don't know, just throwing out a date, the Sunday before Old
I mean,
Home Day.
that would, that makes sense to me,
I think in early August, it could still be in the 90s.
right,
As August goes on, the chances are better that the weather's gonna cooperate a little bit better.
right, yeah. Well, then we don't want to get into Labor Day, and then
No.
we're pushing,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're in the middle of September and
Yeah,
school's back
and we're-
in.
Yeah, and then people are into sports and everything else like that, so.
The 17th
We can
is,
shoot for the 17th,
it's a
I
month
guess,
from
like
now,
that.
so we can
Yeah.
get the word out.
Yeah.
Time should we start early, like 9?
I'll
Yeah.
start at 9. Give people a chance to get a coffee or whatever like that, and show up. walk the dog.
Okay, we can,
Do like 9 to 12 like we did last time in June.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's long enough, but when you're scraping.
Yeah,
and-
3 hours for
Yeah,
that.
that's when
Yeah.
you're scraping like that. We don't want to take advantage of people like that, so.
okay.
Last head on there was the bean burial under the work session thoughts, and I just thought there is, we do it, maybe October or something like that.
After the leaves are off, so you can see.
Leaves are off, yeah, and maybe if we get a good frost like that, mosquitoes will be gone like that, and we can walk through there and.
That's, talking about October.
Yeah, we'll just put that down the road and bring that up at another
Yep.
meeting that we have. I'll pick a date.
So do we want to pick a day for Poor Farm? We're talking September? I mean,
End of September, last, what do you want, last Sunday in October? Last Sunday in September, rather, rain date, first Sunday, October?
what's Labor Day this year?
Labor,
No, it's the first.
Oh, it's the first? Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
It's first, yeah, it's
So we could do
September
like
1st.
the, 14th or the 21st of September, that's 2 weeks after Labor Day,
Yeah, I mean, either one would work with me.
middle of September.
okay.
I don't think you want to wait too
Pick a-
long.
Yeah,
No,
just pick a
yeah.
day and maybe have the following weekend for a rain date or
Yeah.
something, and you think the 14th,
Do the 14th.
and the rain date's the following?
That's a Sunday. Do we want to do a Sunday?
Yeah, I don't care.
It doesn't matter to me, we can either do Sunday or Saturday. You want to do the 13th and the 20th instead?
I'm working Legion on the 21st. But if it is Saturday, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, well, and then the rain date, we did the 13th, and then we could do rain date of the 20th. Those are Saturdays.
Yeah, go for Saturday.
Should we do that?
So what are you doing, 13th?
We're looking, September 13th is the initial date, and the rain date of the 20th, the following Saturday.
You would say 9 AM again?
Yep.
9 to 12?
Yeah.
Do we want to make both, well, we want to make that one tentative? Because you'll have to organize, you have to send Naomi a note asking for a meeting.
Right, I have
For
to do a
both of
public,
these,
yeah,
actually.
public work session.
Do we
Right.
want to talk about that September 13th date at our next meeting to just confirm, or do you?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah,
That way, everybody can double check their schedules.
right, we can do that.
But the
When it
August
gets closer.
17th one, our meeting is when, August?
August 7th, so
Well, you
we'll have
must-
10 days.
There's still time.
There's time enough
Yeah,
there.
there's
to
time
be able
enough.
Make
to-
them both tentative.
Yeah,
We won't advertise anything just yet,
Maybe
although
it'd be nice-
advertising for the headstone.
Be nice
thing,
if we could get like 8 people.
There's still plenty of time to do everything, I think. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of, do we not advertise it before we've scheduled it and confirmed it, the August one?
Well, the only thing,
10
if you
days.
wait till 10 days before, people may have plans.
Yeah, so that one, we have to decide if we want to call it now and start advertising it.
we could advertise now and just make sure we say something after, our August 7th meeting like that, because people may pick up on it, and if they don't put it on their calendar and they forget, and then we may have to send out a reminder
Oh,
closer
yeah,
to
we
that
could do it
date.
again.
Send out a reminder like that, and the challenge with that one there is because if it rains, we have inclement weather like that, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah, we
It's,
cancel it.
you just have to cancel, that would just have to be something that we noted there, that it,
So I can put a save the date notice out there, and
yep, yeah, I mean, yeah, do it like that way, yeah, do a save
Then
date
we'll
like that,
confirm.
so.
Yeah,
2 weeks
Yeah,
before,
no,
week
that
and a
makes
half
sense.
before,
Yeah, that makes
you know.
sense. Yeah, I forgot about save the dates.
I mean, we just do that, you know, put it on your calendar if you're interested. and
Right.
We'll remind people. Can do that. But it is good to get people ahead of time. Some notice, they can, a lot of people will book things
yeah,
that far out, they'll say, oh, yeah, I'll just
yeah.
put it in.
Put it on the
I
calendar
gotta
and then
put it
they,
in the calendar, otherwise I'll forget,
Yeah.
so I get a reminder.
Our next meeting is the 7th?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, next are action items like that. This one's kind of old there. I just remember that, Sherry, you and Judy, and I had given you some information like that. We're gonna contact like French and Rising. And some
We-
of the- and
we
to
did.
ask them about burial permits, if they had burial permits
yeah,
like that. So-
they've got it's in their court, they've got the
Okay.
list.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
double check like
yeah.
that. So they just haven't got back to you yet like that, so.
The
okay.
other thing, speaking of burial permits, I thought that there was an email sent out when Janice was here, that Naomi was gonna get all the burial permits and give them to Pam, so Pam could put them in, and I don't,
That's-
I haven't heard anything, so I don't know if that's happening or not.
Well, that's correct there, and you have a copy in that, the things that I make copies of like
Oh.
that, so. And Janice had responded to my email like that, saying, she had sent it, and she had CC'd Benji and Naomi like that, saying, last night the board discussed your email. Town Administrator Bolton will collect the permits in the absence of a sexton. Regards, Janice. So, I haven't heard anything back, and my understanding there is, the town office like that, the town clerk hasn't received any burial permits this year for this.
She hadn't received any.
Yeah, as I said, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and forward this email to Benji and Naomi and say, based on this email here, that, the town administrator is supposed to be collecting the burial permits and then filing them at the town clerk, and see what response I get for that.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I tried to make, everybody has a copy to look at. And, the tree work, and I did make a copy of that email, I had sent it to Benji and Naomi like that, saying that I have 2 estimates, I reached out for a third, and now it's been over a month.
Yeah, it probably,
And the last one, he called and said, well, this is what I'd like to do, but it's been 3 weeks since he called me saying, well, this is what I'd like to do, and he hasn't got back to me, so I just,
no,
and I made a recommendation based on the 2 estimates that I had, and then
yeah,
Naomi had asked me where the money was gonna come from, or how we had budgeted like that, so then I had to forward the email that Janice had sent there saying that we were gonna use it. She had added
2,000,
$2,500
25,
there for
yeah.
tree work, for the Samuel Osborne and the Wordley burying grounds like that, so. And I still haven't heard anything back on that, and I was hoping maybe Benji was here to see if it was brought up at the selectmen's meeting. And looking at the minutes for the selectmen meetings, I haven't seen any acknowledgement that they were gonna approve
I didn't see
one of
that
those
either.
2, to do the work like that. So, I'll have to reach out again on that one, and And that's the last I had on action items. I mean, I think, Tom, did you have, we looked at the minutes.
Yeah, well, I got a couple action items.
No, it's old business, yeah. We'll send rules and regs and procedures to town administrator, and,
So I haven't done that yet because there was a bit of a changeover on the selectmen board.
right, yep,
I can do that now, and again, I'll have a little bit more time to
yep, okay.
focus on that, so I'll revisit that one. I haven't called Deering about the software, same reason.
Yeah.
So, but I will get back to these two items. Now, it's in the next week or two, I'll start.
Any other action items that I might have missed there?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything.
Did we get those extra sprayers ever?
No, I have to check with Beth on that. I'll have to reach out to her. I reached out to her, I want to go back to, I'm going to move down to other business,
Okay.
and, well, because then I could bring in the sprayers like that, so it's, I had sent an email to Beth, and then I also reached out to Bob Ballquist there, because I'm not quite sure, because he never really explained what his requirements were, what he was supposed to be doing there as far as the Johnson Eastware cemeteries. And you have a copy of the email that I had sent like that. It says, "I just hope you're surviving the heat we've been having like that. I just wanted to clarify with you what you were hired to do. I understand it is that plotting all the grave headstones, footstones, and corner markers. I just want to be sure I'm on the same page as one of the committee members had asked me. I hope the Corps of Engineer prints are helpful for you." And then Tom actually found the, was it RFP like that?
Yeah, from
that was
October
there for-
2023.
Yeah, for the work for him to do like that, so,
You want me to read it?
yeah, if you would, please.
Proposals for mapping of the cemetery grave sites at Pine Grove, Johnson, and East Ware. Mapping to include size of lots, name on the lots, indicate if corner markers are located or missing. That's it.
Okay.
That's pretty much record what you see on the ground.
Yeah, the physical evidence of what there is on
Right.
the ground like that, so.
And so we can update the maps.
Yeah.
and
But you're
compare
not
them.
gonna find the cornerstones with metal detectors.
Well, no, it's true, but as Judy says like that, not all plots are gonna have cornerstones.
The old
There
ones
was no-
aren't,
no,
the older
it's
ones
not.
are not gonna have any
Yeah.
Well,
cornerstones.
this says indicate if corner markers are located or missing. So some of these plots just won't have them.
Yeah,
Or he couldn't find
yeah,
them.
they're not missing, they just never had them.
Right.
They
So
never
it's
bought
one
them.
of- One of three cases.
Yeah.
They're there,
Yeah.
the map says they're there, but he can't find them, or there's nothing there.
I truly don't think you're gonna find anything any different than what's on the engineering maps.
But the idea.
I'm hoping, I agree, but I disagree. I mean, everything that was moved should be there, but we know there's been burials over there since 1961, since the Corps of Engineers.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping those,
Well, those should all be
I'm
recorded up
hoping
through.
They should be able to verify those on the map, so, well, except for the.
They
except
should
for the
be,
last-
they were all recorded when Don,
Well, yeah, up to a
Right.
certain point.
Up to a certain point, but we've got, now we're going on, what, 11 years? We have a gap now.
yeah, the last 11
Yeah,
years.
we have, it's, because if you, Don, retired as sexton in 2014, this is 2025, so
Yeah.
that's 11 years.
Yeah, you reconcile on both ends, so
Exactly.
you have your records and you have your reality, and we will cross-match, and there'll be gaps.
But we know there was a mistake,
Yeah,
so.
we don't know from
But
him moving
we already
out
know there
there.
was a mistake, so we're hoping we can rectify that, what we're gonna get back, for the Johnson is gonna be accurate before he continues and goes on to the east.
We don't even know if there are people not buried in the right lots.
Right.
Well, So that's another
I
thing
don't know,
too,
where
if he
we're gonna know
finds
You
Joe
can't,
Smith, and, and he records it on the map, but the other map says it was in a different location, then we have something that we have to figure out, so.
I don't know how you ever
I
figure
don't
it
know
out.
how you're gonna
but
figure that out.
Not everything is on the stones, so he really doesn't know who's
He,
buried
he
in
doesn't
there
know
and who
who's
isn't.
buried there, because you could have 4 people buried and only 2 names on the stone.
Sure,
Yeah,
but that's all we have, yeah.
Yeah.
you have to cross-check with
Right.
what's,
With all the burial permits.
No, I understand that, but his work needs to be complete for everything that's out there, and you got something there from him that completed one little section, but do we know, because that's the section that we mentioned, I think, right?
That's-
Well, I just knew this stuff was missing
Well, I
because,
know, but this, you're right, Tom's correct like that, this is what we addressed like that, so, but we're
Right.
hoping that he
Could
checked the
there
rest
be-
of the cemetery, the rest of Johnson.
yeah, let's hope, yeah.
because otherwise it's,
You're not gonna do us
I
any
I
good.
don't want garbage in, garbage out, so.
Right. Yep,
So that's good. But there could be, how do we know there isn't other areas that,
I know.
oh,
you know,
I'm sure there's probably other areas there. We just didn't go down through. I just, you know, when I looked at it, I knew that Hadleys were buried there and, you know, some other people, so I just thought that we weren't getting all of it, so.
I'm just hoping that, you know, that people that are contracted to do things like this are diligent enough like that to follow through and do it correctly. Because even as this committee here, as much as we, you know, are dedicated to do this, the amount of time it would take between trying to do the administrative part, provide and make recommendations to the trustees, and then, you know, tackle some of these cemeteries that aren't being taken care of, how are we gonna go out and do some of this other stuff? I mean, it becomes a full-time job, and I don't have that amount of time.
No, neither do I.
I apologize, but it's not,
no, nobody does.
Nobody can put a 40-hour weekend on this stuff.
I mean, we could, but not for free, and
All right,
so. But I haven't heard a response back from him, but the same date that I sent this email, well, I sent it in the afternoon, so it wasn't until 3:44 PM, but at some point in time, he must have responded there, because the date on that is 7/11, and that was the same date that I had asked him in the email like that.
You had sent an email to the town administrator, right, about the gap that we noticed?
Yes,
Did that specifically mention that area?
I had talked about, that it was around the Hadley, like, well, I just said the Johnson Cemetery.
Okay.
I didn't mention
Didn't
that
talk about the
specific
specific-
area,
Right.
no, I said.
yeah.
So, but that, I had reached out to Bob to ask him there about specifically what he was to do, and then you found the RFP. The second one there, I know it was kind of bouncing around, and I was confused like that. At our last meeting like that, we were talking about what the fiscal year is like that, and I reached out to Beth Rouse like that. She says there that it's calendar year, so
Yeah,
that confirms, you know, I know some towns start 1 July, you know.
Yeah,
where
it's
I
always
work
the end
like
of
that,
December,
We did it the
yeah.
same as the federal government, we always started 1 October, but she said it's a calendar years for the fiscal year.
yeah.
And she did send me, which you should have a copy there, is the summary of cemetery trustees' budget report. It covers lawn care, contract services, cornerstones, and flag holders. And it shows there with the revised budget reported period, basically it's a P and L like that, or amount remaining like that, percent remaining like that, in purchase order, so. That helps somewhat, but then I asked her the question there about, you know, how is income tracked and where does it go when cemetery plots are sold? Guess
Where
she
is
didn't
that
explain
paper you just had?
Uh,
I don't have that. I don't think I have that. Yeah, I didn't see it in mine. Not gonna be there, and it's not here. This is the cemetery inspection.
Here's one too. Not too bad.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, I have it. Right here. It was underneath that plastic. No. Beth, I got it. So I'm gonna give you yours back. It was underneath that piece of plastic.
So initially I had asked her there about, you know, the budget and things like that. She said, so the town is a calendar year budget cycle. Unfortunately, at this time, the cemetery budget consists of only 3 accounts. Attached is a copy of the cemetery budgets. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So then I asked her, how is the income tracked and where does it go when cemetery plots are sold? Is the selling of the plots used for perpetual care of the cemeteries? How are the expenses tracked when money is approved and used from a trust such as Mildred Hall Trust Fund and a warrant article requesting funds from Cypre money? Because those are restricted assets.
Yeah, but those have to be,
Well, I know, but somebody still has to track, I mean, because if those are put into some sort of fund there where they're creating income, because they're not just gonna sit,
Right.
in a safe like that,
right,
so
they're making money.
So somebody, they have to show, there should be like a P and L like that, money coming in, money's coming in, and money's going out. So I asked that question like that, but I haven't heard back. But this time of year, it's difficult. I don't know whether she's on vacation. I didn't get a response saying I'm out of the
Oh,
office.
she may be on,
so-
yeah,
Look
And
at your town report.
yeah.
Look at your town report,
'Cause
all
this-
the budgets are in there, and it will show you their accounts and so forth.
But I was hoping that she would, be able to explain a little bit
Yeah.
more like that, so.
Well, yeah, she may be on vacation. I haven't seen her, but,
Where does the income come from on this budget?
oh,
Well,
for the
this
cemetery
one-
lawn, that has to come from the taxpayers are gonna be paying for
Yeah,
that.
this is just generated from when a budget is generated like that. This is the money that's, the trustees have.
Oh, in
there
the budget.
In the budget like that to cover, cemetery lawn care and contract service.
Oh, that covers the mowing?
The mowing and everything,
Mowing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that cemetery lawn care is all the mowing like that of cemeteries.
And we haven't talked to the selectmen about a reduction in their pay for not doing the cemeteries that are right by the road, right?
No, and I know it was supposed to, it was supposed to be brought up, but I haven't seen any of the minutes or anything like that where it's been addressed, and
Nope.
so.
Can I ask a question about something we'd already talked about, just for the
Sure,
minutes?
no, go ahead.
We talked about the email from April about burial permits,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that the town administrator is gonna collect them in lieu of a sexton.
right,
right.
It didn't say anything in the email about getting them to the town clerk, but was that requested?
yeah, I believe that's where they're supposed to go. The permits are supposed to go to the town clerk.
Yeah, but has anybody requested that? 'Cause it's not in the email, it's just about, it just indicates that the TA will collect them.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that's my understanding, they're supposed to go to the town.
Do we know if they are?
Pam says she hasn't received one all year.
That's, right, that's what I had heard, so,
I called her because I didn't know if someone else was bringing them in, and then somewhere along the lines, I don't know if it was at one of the meetings, somebody said that the town administrator was gonna be going when they were having a burial, going and getting the burial permit and bringing it back. And that burial permit has to be filled out by somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
The town administrator, if she's the person picking up the thing, is that who fills it out?
I would assume so.
Okay.
I feel like, well, we already asked for information about activities, like permits and, because we know the town administrator's been collecting information. We asked for some information, like, to get copies of everything that had happened, right?
I
I don't think we've gotten anything there.
I don't think so.
No.
So I know we've asked for some of this before, I don't know.
Well, you should put a list together if you're gonna go to the select board.
Yeah, we'll have to bring that up.
It's freezing in here, I need a sweatshirt. I know.
I can help with some of that after a couple weeks from now.
Well, I thought, what I do is I'll, for action items for myself like that, and I'm kind of jumping down here, because it's usually one of the last things we do, is I'll reach out to Naomi and Benji there about burial permits. what I'll do is I'll forward the email that Janice had sent from April 8th, and I'll ask the question like that, are these being collected as we were told it was gonna be done like that and being filed in the town office? And I'll leave it at that, because he's the trustee and she's supposed to be functioning, you know,
Right.
in place of in the absence of a sexton,
And reporting to the trustees.
and reporting to the trustees. That's
Also, any
correct.
map information too. We don't know if anything's been applied to these maps in here, we need to confirm that. That should be part of that process. Permits is one, but also mapping, any
Mapping it
information.
where the burials have been.
Because I think TA may have her own maps as acting as sexton.
Yeah,
Are they being synced to the main maps is
is a
an
question.
open question.
Yeah, we need to, the one in the town vault should be the master that gets
They
updated.
might be,
It should be.
but we
yeah.
don't know. We want
Right.
to just check that.
Yeah,
Acting for the trustees, you know.
And then I'll reach out to Keith there about the Eaton Cemetery, the remaining,
Right.
those 8 to 10 leaning footstones, headstones, whatever they are like that, so.
We're
and
gonna check with Beth at some point about the sprayers you say.
And well, and I'm gonna reach back to Beth and well, I can stop and see whether she's in or not like that and ask her about a P and L there for restricted assets. They should have something, because you gotta know money coming in and money going out.
Mhm.
Because if you get audited like that, they're gonna ask even if it's restricted assets that. So, and then I'll ask her about the 2 sprayers, because
those are-
based on
that's a transaction report, this is just a budget.
that's
those
correct.
those 2 sprayers we're missing, are those for water or the
They were for the
D2?
water, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they were the 3-gallon that
Yeah.
would have the water like that, used to spray the water with like that, so.
So you were asking for Beth for a transaction report of cemetery activity, related activity, is that what you're saying? Or the restricted, what,
Well, there's got to be, I call it a P and L, that's profit and loss, because you have to have money coming in and
coming
coming
in and
out
going out.
of
Sure.
a restricted asset, so.
Yep.
Yeah, or a transaction, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess, you know,
just a-
so.
an entry,
Yeah, basically, yeah, it just, you know, it should be done monthly like that, they should be looking like that,
Well,
transactions
trustees,
like
the
that, so.
trustees should be interested in that, technically, right?
Yeah,
The financial aspect.
they should know what's there left that we can spend on stuff. Or what's there to be spent on tree work or,
Or
Yeah,
understanding what was put in, you know, or requested, you know, in the budget like that to be
Yeah.
done, you know, it's,
well, there's the budget, and then there's money that was allocated from trust funds, and then there was money that was
Yeah.
voted on, right? That's
Yeah.
separate from budget,
Right.
separate, yeah.
I think. So that like that 2,500 that we got for more D2 and supplies, right? And,
But that was all included in that one request that Janice had made there for doing oil mill, because we'd asked for.
yes.
Yeah,
in March.
Extra money,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
but, you know, then the question was asked to me, you know, where is that money coming from to do the tree work?
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's coming out of the same,
Well, that's
That
what
was part of the
that's what
warrant article.
well, that's what I would like to see Beth, you know, be able to show me where that money's coming from.
I see what you're saying.
See, this makes sense, this lawn care here, contract services, which is Cornerstone.
That's separate though.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
I should be able to see something like this for
So-
restricted assets.
Okay, so like the warrant article,
We got the warrant article and well,
Hall.
even from Mildred Hall,
yeah,
you know, they
Yeah.
take the money out and where is it going like that when the money
the
comes
warrant
out?
article included oil mill, tree
Tree
work,
and
supplies.
supplies,
Yep,
yeah.
And we have the record of that as the warrant article,
That's correct.
but there's no financial
Right.
report on that.
but it probably wouldn't be a bad idea if she's got it, Beth has it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea if she gave you a printout of what the actual bill was when we ordered all of that stuff from that supplier for the sprayers and stuff. It'd be nice to keep a copy of it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, that's my point there, is
The invoice.
you look at this, it's not on there.
Right,
Yeah, so where did that money come from?
yeah, you're gonna
You know,
forget.
Well, how much is left?
5
you
years
know,
down the
well,
road,
we
you're
didn't
gonna say,
spend all of it
where
either."
did that come from? 5 years from now, I'm not gonna remember. I probably might remember next year.
You wanna put that on your list to ask for that invoice? 'Cause
Get a copy of the
that order
invoice.
was made and there was an invoice sent
Right,
for the PO. Wouldn't be a bad idea just to have that record
Right,
anyways.
yeah.
Well, that was made in what, April?
Yeah. I believe it was April.
March or April?
Thought we did it early May, because they said it would only be like a week, 10 days to get
Oh,
it,
that's true.
and it took longer than that.
Yeah, we go to
I can follow the email trail when I get home. I
Yeah,
just don't-
it's
I don't
not
know your
relevant.
stuff.
No, it's not that.
But while you're talking, or maybe ask.
Yeah, I can
There's
do that.
gotta be a digital,
Yeah.
electronic, an email for that
Mm.
PDF. I mean, she's gonna have it in her records, but it'd be good for us to
Exactly.
have a CC.
Yeah, she just pulled, all she gotta do is give me
Yeah.
a,
Mm.
She has it in the email.
so. Right, anything else?
But that's something that we could bring to the selectmen, to the cemetery trustees, and, you know, just remind them that, you know, we spent this money from the warrant article
Mhm.
the prior year, and when we do it again, you know, end of this year, we're gonna make another order. Well, get a PO to make an order next spring, right? Did we say we were gonna wait till then, or are we gonna order that? We can order it now. We just,
Can't order it, we just did being a place to store it.
We need a place to
Storage,
store
yeah,
it,
place
where
to
it's gonna
store it, so
be
it doesn't
not
freeze. We
freeze,
don't want
because
it
we
to
can't leave the D2 down there.
right. And we were gonna ask to see if we could put it in the town office? Did we say that?
Well, downstairs and where they keep paperwork and stuff, maybe there's room in there,
Yeah, that came up, we talked about that
yeah.
our last meeting.
I mean, it's not gonna take a gigantic amount of room, but,
Well, they're 5-gallon containers and they're square, so,
Right.
and they're probably, 2 of them are about this wide, you know, I mean, they're.
you could stack them too
and-
high,
And you
easy.
could stack them too high, you know, it wouldn't,
But I can tell you, I couldn't get the cap off at D2.
oh, I struggled with that, I had to poke a hole in the top of it.
I didn't, I wouldn't get channel locks.
At the time, I didn't have channel locks.
Then I just tightened it,
Well, yeah, I
a little
just put
bit.
it on,
yeah. It's tight, but, you know,
you didn't have your rubber husband or, so,
that's not gonna work.
no,
That is,
it was tight, I couldn't get it off.
wow, that's the only way you could do it with channel locks.
Oh, yeah,
But it's not that tight now,
No.
just so you know,
the initial.
yeah.
Yeah, it was,
I can take an action item to ask about, now while it's summer, start going and ask about storage for D2, just pose the question.
Where can we put it?
Yeah, is there room for us over the winter just to?
Is that too,
I'll go down and look at the size of those containers and I'll measure it,
yeah, they're not very big.
and then stacking too high, is there any room in here at all?
I mean, they're like a 5-gallon pail.
Like a
except-
five.
Except they're rectangular.
Yeah,
They're square.
5-gallon
They're not
pail,
round.
only they're, yeah, rectangular.
And they're in boxes, so you can literally stack them, and
It's
they're
like
labeled.
floor cleaner stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
you
if
might
not,
even be able to stack them 3 tall,
well, you could, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're limited to space, but,
You could always approach the fire department too, if no, if the answer is no here, we could go to the fire department if they have a locker, you know,
Yeah.
supply locker that they might be able to fit, you know, I'll take a picture of a couple of them stacked up just for reference. So I can take that on to see, and during my time off too, I'll have time to be able to pop around and make
Mm.
those inquiries. You're doing enough already with the paperwork
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't have anything else that I can think of.
I don't either, so it's, you've got my action items, and we're good there.
Just that if you get a hold of Keith and he's gonna go over some evening, you know, if I can come, I'd like to come. If I
Yeah,
can, I
yeah.
can't. Same with Tom, I think. And if I'm coming, Judy can ride with me,
Okay.
if she,
Yeah, I'll see if he'll do that, I mean, especially, you know, if he's, you know, at Oil Mill, and if he's heading home, because he's either Bow or Concord. I'll ask him if he could, you know, do that with us like that in the evening like that.
When's he
so-
starting OML?
not till August,
Not
sometime
till
in
August,
August, and it
yeah.
might be late, I don't know. He didn't really have a date, he just said sometime in August.
We should probably get him to come out. as
He's
soon-
gonna pull those flags, and I asked him to leave them till we could take a look.
Okay.
Well, what, today's Friday, I'll call him Monday, see where he's at like that, so.
Mm.
Yeah, if he
and
can
see
come
when
out
he can
sometime in the
come
next
out with
couple
us like that,
weeks.
so, yeah.
Ask him if he can go there and then run to Center Square.
Right, yeah, do over.
Get 'em
Sunday.
both done,
Yeah,
have
do
it done
both
with.
Like that, so, yeah. We can do that.
Oh, you want a motion?
Okay, a motion to adjourn. Well, okay, let's finish up here. Next meeting is Thursday, August 7th, 2025, at 6:30 PM here in the conference room.
Yep.
And take a motion to adjourn. Motion?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Yes.
5.
8:05.